No better time for a night out than a Tuesday evening at 20 past 11, right? Am I right? Welcome back to Disco, guys. So, in case you didn't notice, we're alone. Kimmy has gone to bed. We have got the town to ourselves for the moment, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this newfound freedom. We've got our horrendous vest on. We could probably do with equipping a torch. We'll keep the ledger there for the extra empathy. And yeah, I guess the first thing we intended to do without Kimmy was to go and get the boots. What did we do in the last episode? We spoke to the bureaucrat, which made me want to kill myself. And we went to see Kuno's dad as well. After that, our long chat with the smoking fellow and his friends, the coalition bureaucrat. So I am going to go back down and try and get the boots off. I have a feeling that this is going to go wrong. Call me crazy, but I feel like this is going to go wrong. I really feel like this is gonna. We're just going to like rip his legs off or something. Let's turn the old ice cream machine back on.
The red cable is plugged into the breaker. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
Now, I don't know if this led anywhere actually down here. No, I thought there might have been a path when I was looking back at the video in editing. So yeah, now that Mr. Captain Uptight, good old Kimmy, is not here anymore, I'm unsure what we can do, but it'd be interesting to see how the town changes, whether there's different people who come out at night.
Are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Let's try and get his boots.
The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity.
We might need some physical instrument here.
Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge.
Left first.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimetre or two.
Try the right boot.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening.
Yes.
See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad to get rid of them.
Strange for empathy to chime in there. Adjust his seating position first, okay.
He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles.
Okay.
With hoarfrost covering his milky eyes. Is that an accusatory glance he gave you? No. No, he's cool.
Let's try and twist.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off.
Nice.
With nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
How bad's the damage?
Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible.
Wash them in the sea?
Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Yes. Right. Now, yeah. We've got a bunch of stuff we should be doing some interacts with that I've not done yet. I think we're best leaving the apricot chewing gum wrapper till last because that might be quite traumatic. We've read that communist book. I don't wish to read that nonsense again. The map of Martinez.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
Oh, okay. Thought there might have been more within that. A handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge. It still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Let's have a read.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Off-site copy?
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
You'll find the filament memory. Maybe this is where we'll get the password. Who wrote that note?
According to the note, someone named Sulislav.
Sulislav.
Perhaps someone who belonged to the defunct radio computer company.
Did it need... Yeah, that makes sense.
It would be oh so fun to try that radio computer out for yourself.
And what is a filament memory?
The note doesn't specify.
Is the illiterate ginger kid Kuno or Kuno S?
The note does not. Are you serious? You sure you don't want to hazard a guess here, detective?
Yeah, Kuno.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Frozen ice cream maker's behind us.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
Yes. Excellent. Right, we couldn't interact with it though, could we? Now we can. Spiffing.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Let's try and crack it open.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Maybe we turn the power off and then it won't be as sealed shut with the ice, maybe? Wash the boots in the kitchen somewhere. We need the torch down here, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to turn the power off to it,
Two
see if that
cables are
helps.
plugged in something close to you. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Turn the ice cream crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
The pry bar's not strong enough then. Minus 20. Jeez. Oh man.
A thick layer of coal dust cup.
How did we resolve that? Oh no, we went and spoke to the was it the dice maker? Oh yeah, we need to report back to places. Okay, I'm not sure there was anything else left to do in here. There might have been another stairwell that I'm forgetting about. I don't know if we can actually sing karaoke at the Whirling in Rags after a certain time. They said it was, what, 2 AM when everyone kind of stops doing anything at all. I can't imagine that the dice maker's still here. Oh, she is. Fair enough. What a nice lady she was. Okay, I'm wandering a little bit now, but... Yeah, I should probably read something else from the ledger as well, right? The store on the other side is closed for the night. Come back tomorrow, yes. Right, so... let's try and interact with something else then. Oh yeah, the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of
Have we
the
done this
hanged
already?
man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. The pattern still kind.
Yeah. Right, guys, brace yourselves. The apricot chewing gum wrapper. Let's try it. Let's put this back on first, in case the stats matter for whatever reason. The gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pockets of the labourer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint scent of apricots. Your mouth starts watering.
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet, or some ancient temple.
Let's take a deep breath.
Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take. Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes. Made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive. Feels so familiar.
An ancient temple.
Yes, from the height of antiquity. A long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of time you can never return to. The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich. There is a movement next to you, the shuffle of a small coat, warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, there's nothing there.
Where did it go?
Why are you talking to a gum wrapper?
Okay, we've got 2 skill points, so -1 reaction speed, living in the past, 5 hours. You found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The Gloom Stalker, a conglomeration, the shadowy organization behind your downfall, possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it is impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes! Use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper. Reconstruct the day you first breathed in her untrustworthy atoms. Untrustworthy atoms? I don't know. Everything we've read kind of made it sound like she died, right? But... Alright, let's... as long as we have 1 skill point available for like a really bad red check. Let's internalize this. -1 reaction speed. I don't know what this is going to benefit, but I don't know. Let's find out. These new pants were like all blacked out, aren't we? Except for the hat and the gloves. Okay. Right, I think we need to get out of here then. Because we don't know the password, we can't get into the ice cream thing. So I think we've got to do one. Right, where else? So I think we should just basically just have a look around anywhere, see if any different people are around. You know, all sorts of different types of people come out at night, right? Might be worth going to the Whirling in Rags first, seeing if the kitchen's empty, but it might be better going back there when everyone's properly gone. Not just like at party time, night time, but at, real early morning. Right, let's just have a little look around outside. Okay, so all the people are gone. Tommy's gone. The lady's still here. Maybe she's worth talking to.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
I don't think we can ask you anymore. I still don't really understand this whole boiadero thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boiadero, you need to listen to on the Western Plain.
The woman sways her wrinkled shell.
Yeah, we've been through that already. Right, so where have all the scabs gone?
A lorry stuck in the traffic.
Would he be asleep in his cab maybe, or would he found somewhere else to go? Everyone's gone. Maybe we can go past Measurehead's location, right? Because we came from this direction, right? No! Measurehead! That's genuinely disappointing. Okay, where else could we go? We'll go in the Whirling in Rags, see if we can use the sink at least. I don't think we need to go to Friet. Yeah, it kind of feels like the only thing we had to do was to pinch the boots, but there must be some more stuff to do at night. There's nothing else in here we can interact with. He's not someone we can actually talk to. Shine the light in his eyes.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Can we ask you anything more about the door?
Oh, yes, that door. Sure. Yes. What else? Yes.
Yeah, never mind. Let's hope Gart doesn't notice.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar.
Okay, check out the cookware.
A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots.
What about the cleaning supplies?
There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge.
Sweet. Boots are really disgusting. Pour some dish soap and the bottle of white vinegar into the pot. Soap, that's exactly what I need. Pour lots of dish soap into the pot. Dish soap and white vinegar.
The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot.
Maybe I shouldn't do this while Gart's here.
All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Okay, let's just do it. Sack it. Let's bring it to a nice boil.
The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil. Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface.
Wait a bit more.
The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too. Just like beef stew.
A little more.
That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove.
Dump the sock and flesh stew and examine your new boots.
A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
I'm out.
The Jamrock
Oh, right.
Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
Find better loot in locked containers. So does that mean we can go into containers we couldn't previously? We better not have those on in front of Kimmy, right? We still do nothing about this bloody
You
door.
see a heavy steel door with...
Alright, let's go for a wander then. So we could go back to the apartment block, we can go and see if Joyce is there. We can go and see Roy, we can head over to Everett Clare, right? The bookshop is closed, obviously.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Let's look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Vandalized.
The mute machine is unable to confirm or deny your theory. But yes, it was vandalism.
Does this one work?
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
Do it.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal.
Let's look.
The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Focus our vision.
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature.
An islet? Come on now. An islet. It is an islet, right? I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I always thought it was islet, like island. Alright.
It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Hang in there, islet.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Let's just check out the water here, see if there's anything here. Guess not. Let's head to Joyce's boat, then we'll go to the apartments. Oh man, I thought there might have been a bit more nightlife going around, but maybe not. Hey there, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
Do you not sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
Why not?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
Huh. Better not to poke further. That's good. This way you can answer me some questions.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What was the RCM again?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
That wasn't grayed out.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
There might be another option, so let's keep going. Let's just go through it again. What do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
Thrill to foreign interests. Is this what I said last time?
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. Yet, on the other hand, the post-revolutionary, they called it the So permit me to conclude with this. Who you are to me is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority.
Thank you.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms,
Yeah.
glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Let's just make sure we can get this conceptualization, because I don't want to miss another high chance again. Beautiful.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
She pats her wet raincoat. I could use a coat like that.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Reach for something fundamental.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
Antipode. Is that not Antipode? Am I right? I feel like I can't talk properly anymore. The fading pearls of her eye look to the sea.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see, Joyce?
Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
It does kind of make you feel a bit sad that you know there is some obviously still a lot of mystery in the world in a lot of senses, but not in the plain and simple sense of it anymore.
Elysium.
Wait, is this the one with the evil apes? Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment. The world doesn't deserve a term of endearment. Yeah, I guess it does deserve need a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
And what's hell to you, Joyce?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world?
There
is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
She raises her finger to her lips. How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
So, do they not know that the world's spherical at this point? This is fascinating. Maybe it's a ball.
That's looking less and less likely, Detective. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
What does that mean?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
What the hell are you telling me? The pale? And what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
The pale.
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Fascinating. So they don't have a complete map of this planet they're on? This small collection of countries, of islands in the archipelago. It's like 20% of this planet. This pale is covering the rest of it. So, wow, that's taken me back a little bit. A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
If you say so, Joyce.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
Wow. And what is pale?
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it? The definition?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what is an insula? Isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
I mean, we know what Insulinde is, but...
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
And what is the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it around? Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
Man, if anything, this kind of makes me feel like we're in some sort of metaphysical place. Right? Like we're in some sort of afterlife. Or purgatory. Right? That there's this anti-matter, anti-reality matter that compromises most of this place that isn't even defined as a planet at this moment in time. So we're 6,000 kilometers from the end of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there, north?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
She closes her eyes and breathes out heavily. Wow. Wow. What are the Pale's physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
Wow. This is so fascinating, right? This is bizarre. I mean, it could be the transition between life and death, right? That's what the Pale could be. The breach, the unknown. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Her lungs deflate, her words sound like a sigh.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbour. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
So you can travel through it? That's strange. Numbers cease working there. The Pale can damage the mind.
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
Might have been useful to have Kimmy here for this.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
And what does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
The blend over of the self. Over-radiated by past.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger, though.
No nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
That's probably why she doesn't sleep then.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories.
Perhaps.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well.
Yeah.
The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do the lorry drivers ever pass through the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says. That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
So are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Wow, this is just like blowing my mind a little bit. Not blowing my mind, but just it's just another layer I wasn't expecting, right? What is entropanetic?
Entropanetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
So if it's been around for that long, what has entropanetics changed?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we don't?
Then they don't.
I mean, could this be the barrier between the living and the dead, or something like that, right? The fact that it makes you get lost in the past, right? The urge to go back, another life. How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
To our detriment, or?
What do you think, Detective?
She looks you in the eye. It's shrinking. There is more and more of the world. It's growing. There is more and more of the pale. I guess the pale's spreading.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
If it's expanding, then I don't think it's extreme, is it?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality.
She stomps her foot.
Before we do, tell me, Detective.
Yeah?
Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing. Just alcohol fumes and blackout. I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good. I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no. I didn't know this. Yeah, I'm getting this. I sometimes get vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the pale?
It's terrifying. You were right. It's disco. It will end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? Does sound pretty disco, to be fair. You were right. It sounds disco.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece, the one they'll remember me by, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. It'll be a fucking disaster, I know it. All those people will die. Yeah, this investigation will be my masterpiece.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
He checked on me as well.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow. Thanks for all that, Joyce. That was... reality altering, right?
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
No, that's all for now. Whew. My cake is baked. Good God. Oh, Crow Lady's still here. What have we got here? Oh, it's locked. Let's check out the apartments. How did we get up here again? I can't... Oh yeah, the balcony, yeah. Wow, guys, the Pale. I mean... Amazing, right? Can't remember if there was anything up here we might need. The Pale. I mean, it raises more questions than it answers, but... Yeah. Hello again.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
So you won't talk about the murder, but maybe you can tell me something about the murder victim's missing armor.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the body? Come on, Cindy, just help me out here.
Ugh, alright. Sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time!
She waves her hand in the general westward direction. And there's a little girl there with the gloves.
No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I just told you. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
She looks at you, a little sad, suddenly. See you later. Now let's get our other outfit back on. Man, having some conceptualization is probably the better thing to do, right? Yeah, I'm not really bothered about shivers. No, there's nothing else up here. Is there? No. Yep, the armoured gloves, we've got a rumour on that. Alright. Oh, the backyard wall. Okay. That's... yeah. Yeah, I think we can still go there. Don't think there's anything really left for us in here. Nope. Right, let's go and check this wall out while we've got conceptualization stuff on. Because that was quite a high check, right, from what that just said. Wow, the Pale. The bridge to the great beyond, who knows?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Don't think there's any other conceptualization.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
%. Oh, it's an intellect. Yeah, I don't think that's going to improve our chances too much more. Let's just go for one check anyway.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Yeah. Oh, we can give Kuno his drugs, right? Maybe he'll throw them away. Maybe that's why he actually wants them. Yeah, let's bump our drama back up. Yeah, let's give Kuno his dad's drugs. Hopefully it's not because he wants to take them. It probably is, but... what was the check on this again?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Oh, visual calculus. Kid, why are you still here?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Took care of the drug situation, mate.
Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how we do it. First, you give Kuno Kuno's kilo, then Kuno gives you half back. That's how we split it. It's the best way, street way.
Yeah, I don't think it's a kilo, right? Are you going to ask how I got past your dad?
Word on the street is, you sent your little friend in dressed as a hooker, distracted him. That's some sick shit. Tell your little slanty-eyed friend, respect from the Kuno.
Enough with the racism, kid.
Kuno wants to hear all about it, but first we split the kilo, then we shoot the shit.
I'm keeping it and doing it all myself. I'm keeping it. You don't need more drugs. You're 12. Don't give in to Kuno. Don't give it to Kuno. Fair's fair.
Wow, that's heavy.
He waves the minuscule bottle around, then slips it into his coat pocket.
There you go. More than half in there. Kuno's fucking honourable like that.
Out comes another similar vial from the sock above his running shoe. Here you go, more than half in there.
Now tell me, how the fuck are you still alive, pig?
I looked around in there. It's not the easy life you've got going on in that apartment. There was a textbook with your name on it in the apartment. Yeah, it's not an easy life in there, kid.
The fuck do you know about Kuno's life? Kuno's got plans. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we got plans.
I met your dad.
Yeah, you do some Sambo shit, sneak in. Was the Beano-clad hooker thing real?
Sambo is an acronym for Samaran boxing, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. Just letting you know.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. It was dark in there. We sneaked in and got out. It was what you said. Kim dressed up as a hooker, full drag, distracted him. Kuno, your dad is a half-dead alcoholic. He was sleeping under some clothes. It was dark. We sneaked in and got out.
You got lucky. Kuno's dad was out getting more drink. Kuno knew that. That's why he sent you. Kuno cares about his pig. Doesn't want his pig to get hurt.
He nods empathetically. There was a textbook with your name on it.
Yeah, so fucking what?
It says Kuno. It says Kuno. No. It says Kuno, not Kuno. Kuno de Reuter.
Fuck are you talking to Kuno about that kiddie shit?
I like it. Kuno de Reuter.
He's trying to fuck you again.
Fuck out of here. Kuno knows it's fucking lame. That's why Kuno changed it. Kuno can change his name into anything. Gonna change my name into
Don't change your name into that, Kuno.
A lot of unpaid bills, kid.
fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or some shit.
Let me guess. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about him. That's no place to live in. You have to find somewhere else. Find a job. Pay him yourself. Your dad can't handle things anymore. Let me guess. He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's right. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about that electricity and light shit. Just wants to pound on people and drink.
There's no place to live, kid.
That's right. It's a shithole. Kuno's gonna move underground, Leroy shit, ancient shit. Kuno's gonna live in a fucking catacomb.
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno.
The little one seems overjoyed at the prospect. Alright, let's end this business.
Yeah, pig, this shit is done. Now get the fuck out of Kuno's face. Kuno needs to drop the bomb. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Alright, great. I feel like I've missed something. Oh. Have we been in there? Right, let's just, before we, well, we need to end things here. It's 1 AM, guys. We've not really done much, but we learned all about the Pale with Joyce, and my god, we went down the rabbit hole then. So we'll pick it up from here next time. I'll go and check that stairwell. I can't remember going down there. Or if it's locked or something. Anyway, we'll pick it up from here next time. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a like on the video if you did. And just remember, everybody, never trust an on-crate. I'll see you back in Revachol.